Hello, and welcome to the Armory. Hello. Now, I've got a question for you. Now, let's say you are a soldier in the service of King Henry V on your way to France. Now, you have your chainmail, you have a dagger, you might even have a sword and buckler. And you come up against this man, who normally would be encased from foot to crown in armor. And I'm sorry, if your sword is really, really sharp, you're still not getting through that. Oh, you might get lucky and get a chink in the chainmail. Don't count on it. And unless you get him down on the ground, your dagger, which is very good, by the way, is still not going to take him down. You have to incapacitate him and get him taken care of. You don't necessarily want to kill him because he's worth money alive to his family if you ransom him back. And you might even sell his armor back to them separately because it might be worth more than he is. One can never tell. So how do you get through to the man in the armor? You use a weapon like this. Now this is a poleaxe. Now when I first heard the name poleaxe, I assumed it meant, well, it's an axe on a pole. No, no, no. Latin, pole, head axe. Well, now this weapon just made an impact on the stomach. Now he's wearing padding under there, which means the brunt of your attack has been taken and it's dispersed it. Now he still felt it. A modern soldier today wearing bulletproof armor, he still is going to feel the impact of that bullet. It's not going to be as great, but he's still going to feel the impact of it. Just as my friend here felt the impact on that. Maybe I bruised a rib. Maybe he's now got a bruise on his chest the size of my fist. But he still felt it, and I still got to him with this. I bring this down in the shoulder. I may have just cracked his collarbone. The whole point was I have gotten through to the man in the shell. And you get him down, you weaken him. He can't fight anymore. That means he's at your mercy. Now, if you're low born, like I said, his knightly status doesn't mean a great deal to you. If another knight takes him. Of course, it's interesting to remember that during the Battle of Agincourt, King Henry V kind of ignored the rules of chivalry, which meant a knight on the ground stayed there. Now, this wasn't the only weapon of this type. And as I put this away, I'm reminded of the spike. Take a good guess what that was for. Getting through the chainmail. But no, these weren't the only weapons to be able to incapacitate a knight in armor. There was the war hammer. One side was a hammer, the other side was a spike, referred to as a crow's beak. The Latin name, please forgive me if I don't pronounce this correctly, bec de corbin. Oh, correction, that was the French. So equally, forgive me for my mistakes there. But the whole point of that weapon, a flanged mace, again, weapon designed to impact where you can't cut. So plenty of weapons to get at our friend in armor. Now, a note or two on this before I close this video. I produced this myself. I bought the individual pieces. Bought this part off of Amazon, bought the shaft at Lowe's, and this off a website called Cult of Athena. Now, this weapon is very poorly balanced. there is literally, and I can't balance it right now, there is literally more weight here than there is here, and that is actually wrong. The real weapon would have had a much smaller spike or butt cap, probably not further in than where my hand is right now. Why does this one have that, you ask? Because for honest reasons, it looked cool. I'm not a battle reenactor, so total accuracy isn't necessarily what I was going for. But there it is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little talk. There will be more of these coming up, so please check my channel for future installments of the Armory. Thank you. Have a good night.